And a very good day to you, and welcome once again to the program. We've got all the chickens in front of us here today. This is our little chicken run in our garden, and Jill gets eggs every single morning from these little chickens. I want to say to you today, we need to walk the talk. That's right. We need to live the life. You know, we've been saved by grace through faith, and that not of ourselves, for it was a gift from God, Ephesians chapter 2 and verse 8. But I want to tell you something now, folks. The law of the Lord has been put there so that you and I know how to live the life. That's what the 10 Commandments are for. Oh no, Angus, I've been saved by grace. I don't need the 10 Commandments anymore. Well, hopefully you don't. But just in case you forget, they're still there. Right? And one of those commandments is, thou shalt not steal. And you'll find that in Exodus chapter 20 and verse 15. One of the 10 commandments, thou shalt not steal. And then if we go to the book of Matthew chapter 26 and verse 40. This is what it says. Matthew chapter 26 and verse 40. And then he came to the disciples, and he found them sleeping, and said to Peter, Jesus said to Peter, could you not watch with me 1 hour? I want to tell you, there's different types of stealing. And there is stealing God's time. And here's a word for men and women and young people who are not spending time with Jesus every day. You are stealing time from God. You are watching television or watching your device when you should be in time of prayer and reading the Bible and speaking to God, because He is waiting for you. See, Jesus kept coming back to the disciples. It was the most trying moment of His whole life. He knew the next day He was going to be crucified. He was sweating drops of blood. He was under so much stress. And all He asked the disciples to do was to keep watch. And every time He went to see them, they were sleeping. They were stealing time from Jesus. I want to say to you today, be careful. We're not just talking about stealing money. How much time do you give to your children? How much time do you give to your husband, to your wife? Because that's also stealing. When it's their time, it must be their time. You know, my wife doesn't like me taking my cell phone into the house when we are having time together, because it's stealing time. And I know some women say, there's a third person in our family. There's my husband, me, and that cell phone. We need to be careful. Now, we use the cell phone. Of course we do. I've also got one. But we need to be careful that we manage our time correctly. I was in a game reserve just a few weeks ago. This is a funny story, but it's not really funny. And I was sitting early in the morning. I'm a 4 o'clock man. I was up at 4. It was still dark. And I was sitting just outside our little thatched hut. And I had a table there and a chair. I had my Bible open, my pen. I was spending time with the Lord. And I'd taken out a banana. That's right, I love bananas. A nice big yellow one. And I put it on the table right next to my Bible. And I want to tell you, as the sun was coming up, one of these vervet monkeys, obviously a professional thief, because I'm sure he does that for all the guests. He must have been sitting on top of that thatch watching me. And as I took my eyes off that banana and I was looking at the scripture, I saw like an explosion. The next thing, he was on the table, took the banana and gone. And to make it worse, he went and sat in the tree and peeled the banana and ate it in front of me. And that really upset me. Do not steal, because it's not good for you and it's no good for anyone. Obey the law. God bless you and goodbye.